South Korea's birth rate remains the lowest in the world, driven by a range of factors contributing to this alarming trend, from the financial pressures of raising children to the challenges of balancing career and family. Many women face significant obstacles when deciding whether to have children. In this video, NOVAsia interviews Mira Lee, a visiting professor at Yonsei University and a leader in the HR field, to explore the reasons behind this phenomenon and get to know about her own suggestions on improving the situation of South Korea's shrinking population.
My name is Mira Lee. I'm currently teaching at the Graduate School of International Studies at Yonsei University. In addition, I'm sitting at the board of SK Ecoplant, which is a subsidiary of SK Group. Prior to that, I have around 30 years of corporate career. My last one was CHRO, Chief HR Officer, the HR leader position with the GE Korea.
Do you feel it's hard for Korean females to balance between pursuing a career and raising kids?
Yeah, so find the balance between the career and raising kids would be challenging for like all the women in other countries as well. But what makes a bit more peculiar for Korea is traditional expectation about the gender role, more pressure for the young mothers in Korea to be in charge of the child care than any other members like her spouse, so for example. So I think that makes a little more difficult for the Korean females.
Do you feel that Korean families are under huge financial pressure to raise kids?
Yeah. So even though the families are becoming smaller and you have like a less number of children in the family, but I think the intensity of the child care is increasing. It's because previously, the family can get a lot of support from the community or from the extended family. But, that's not really available any longer.
The number of employed female workers in South Korea has reached a record high, surpassing 10 million this year. However, the country is still far from improving the wage gap between men and women. In 2023, the gender pay gap in South Korea narrowed to 26.3%. It's the first time it dropped below 30% since 2019. Even so, the number is still the largest among OECD countries and is more than double the OECD average of 12.1%. Let's see how Professor Mira Lee regards the reasons behind this huge gender wage gap in South Korea.
A couple of reasons. We have less female in the more executive or senior positions. You take the career break, it gives a bit slower progress in career and as well as compensation. And then some of non-regular contractor work are more taken by the female. So those are the factors.
Apart from what we just talked about, do you think there are any other reasons contributing to the declining birth rate?
There's a lifestyle change, right? We have more about single person household, even getting married without children and so on. People's view about the life choice has changed. But if you look at a more social cultural perspective, Korea, the 12th largest economy in the world. 60 years ago that we just came out of the Korean War. So we achieved this in a very, very short time in comparison with for other more mature countries having, taking 100, 200 years, to get to the point where we are now. So which means that the Koreans, work so hard to achieve that. That's the strength of Korea. But at the same time, I just feel that we are experiencing a bit of burnout as a society. Yeah? It's a marathon, but people run a 100-meter sprint, which means that we are at the point that, time to take a pause, step back and reflect, for additional development like ahead. Because of that, the people are not very confident or positive about the future, which like makes the younger parents to think twice about giving birth and having another children.
South Korea is currently the only country that declared a state of national emergency due to its low fertility rate. The government is now providing vast incentives, programs, and support for couples to consider having their newborn. However, these policies seem to have not achieved significant results. In this video, Professor Mira Lee also shared her own suggestions on raising the number of children born in this country.
So, looking broadly, and then finding some success case. Take an example of Sejong City, where the government administration moved from Seoul down there, and then Dongtan City. So we have a town called Dongtan Mom, which represents younger moms very actively voicing about the child care. So looking at those cities, their birth rate is close to 1, even though that is far below the replacement rate of 2.1, but relatively higher if you look at Korea. The government and we have to look into what makes the difference there. Based on my own research, that they are newly developing city. They have industries around that city. So stable jobs, and then because young professionals are coming to this place, for work and start a family. When they make this cluster, the infrastructure is also being there, making easy for the family to raise the children are there. So all combination makes the difference. Perhaps we can try to find insight out of those cases.
The declining birth rate in South Korea is more than just a statistic. It's a reflection of shifting values, economic pressures, and complex social dynamics. The conversation is just beginning, and the solutions may take time. As the nation navigates this uncertain period, one thing is certain: change is inevitable, but how that change is shaped is still in Korean people's hands.